Incident that happened at Central Middle on January 31st where the student made a threat. I initially called and I spoke with Principal Doty. First I spoke with Superintendent East, and then I spoke with Principal Doty. She confirmed that the student did make the threat that he was going to shoot all of the, excuse my language, niggas in the school. We weren't notified. I was told that it was because it happened in one classroom and that it was an isolated incident only concerning those students that were in that classroom. I don't think that that's the way it should have been handled. I've recently been told by Principal Doty that it's the board policy that you guys don't notify the parents. If my child is at that school, if a student walks in with a gun, if he's coming to kill one student or many students, it doesn't matter. We need to know what's going on. We entrust you guys for our students being there, and you need to really let us know. I think that we need to be informed about that. Since it would have been a simple call to send a robocall out, we handled the situation. We just wanted to make you all aware. That wasn't done, and to this day, it still has not been done. The second thing is the doors at the school are unlocked. Anybody can walk in. The back doors are, now I'm being told that they're locked, but they weren't. The front door is still unlocked. I was told Friday by Principal Doty that the doors that are locked at the other schools are paid for by the PTA, that the school district does not have a budget to get doors for the schools. I think that all the schools should have locked doors. We're living in a world now where school shootings seem to be our norm. Every week or every other week, we are having them. Why are our children not protected? Because it's not in the budget to get doors. A PTA has to do that. The student, when I spoke to Mr. East, it was kind of downplayed that maybe the student may have had some issues at home and he didn't really mean what he said. If there are lots of students that have issues at home. There are lots of people who go to jobs every day that have issues, and they don't threaten to kill people. They did not see a concern. This student has a tattoo of a gun on his shoulder. I don't know, my child doesn't have a tattoo, and I don't know many children that are in middle school that have tattoos. Maybe I'm behind the times, but I just don't know. There was a Facebook picture, his profile picture. He has a gun in the back of his profile picture, and he's motioning his hand in a gun symbol. So that to me is of interest and concern because it shows that he is fixated on guns, just like the student who shot all the students in Florida. 17 people are dead. He had a fixation with guns, and he was also a danger. I have a picture that I'd like to give to the board of this Facebook post. Would y'all like it now, or would you want me to finish?
Go ahead and finish.
Okay.
That's 4 minutes.
That's 4 minutes? Okay. My other concern is this is a predominantly African-American school. I don't understand why. We had three administrators that left last year. Of the three, we had two that were minority. They were replaced with all Caucasian administrators. Are there not any qualified teachers or faculty members that in the Gulfport, educators in the Gulfport school system, so that we could have a minority in that school? Surely there is, I'm sure. Also, my next thing is the addresses on the report cards and progress reports. Well, I don't understand why the children's addresses have to be on there. If you have an elementary kid student and they drop that, they have their address, they have their name, and they have what grade they're in. If they lose it, somebody could be stalking their home, watching out for them. We have a lot of latchkey kids. What I'm asking for the board to do, I'm asking for the board to change the policy, if that is in fact your policy, as Principal Doty said, that you've changed the policy to notify the parents of what's going on with our children at the school. I also asked the board to initiate an investigation into what really happened on that date because the stories have changed.
That's 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'll give you just a few seconds to wrap up, though.
Okay. I asked the board to implement locked doors at all the Gulfport schools. I also ask that the board initiates an investigation into Ms. Doty as to why she's tearing up the write-ups when the teachers are sending them to be written up. She's tearing them up because it's a mark on the school, because she doesn't want the mark on the school. It's having the kids run amok. It's having the kids not be safe. The children that aren't showing out, they're not safe because these kids are not being reprimanded because of disciplinary problems. It's causing the staff to have trouble because they can't control them if they know that they're gonna send them down and nothing's gonna happen. Also, I'm asking the school district, well, I've asked you that, to remove the things. So I hope that you guys will take all that I said into consideration, because we should not have this going on in the day that we're living in. We should know what's going on with our children. And here's that photo.
My name is Diablo Cooper, and I won't take much of your time, but I do agree with the investigation of Principal Doherty. I have come to her as well as multiple times of my child being bullied and also threats against my child, and she tells me she cannot tell me because she had a conversation with the children. To me, that's unacceptable. Anything that occurs with our children directly, you should not be having closed-door conversations with these children without parent presence or also being notified. So again, just to reiterate what Ms. Ellis said, with the day and age that we're having now, it's very important that we take anything very, very seriously when it comes to the lives of our children. Thank you.
That's what the board represents, the membership of the community. So we appreciate that. We will address it, and Mr. East, as the superintendent, will provide a response on our behalf. So, Mr. East, you have it. All right. Thank you. All right, so we're on to item